Oh, here we are on this beautiful God-given Thanksgiving Eve, if that's a thing. It's the day before Thanksgiving. And we're working on the General again. Big cosmetic difference. We got the hood on, and we got the grill stuck in it. I know I couldn't bring y'all along for the ride on that. It ain't in all the way, so, you know, there's still some entertainment value there. I've been busy. I just got back in town from working for a couple weeks, and I've been busy working on editing the next video that's coming out, or just came out, or done come out, or I don't know where this is all gonna fall, but you know what I'm saying. So anyway, back into what we're doing right now. The grill is just sitting in it. Obviously it's a little bit wonky over here. It's got the lazy eye going on. This plastic, well, for one, the grill frame, the metal bit, was bent. I don't know if the car it was in was wrecked, or fat dude sat on it, or what. But this was bent down, and because of it being bent down, and assumedly the grill sitting out in a hot shed for years and years, summer after summer, heat cycle, cold cycle, heat cycle, cold cycle, it bent up his plastic here. I got some ideas on how to fix the plastic, and the metal bit I just used some vice grips and muscled it back up pretty straight. So we're lacking some hardware, screws or bolts, whatever, that holds plastic in over here, but they're missing from over here, and there's some on the bottom that do the same thing that are missing, so we're gonna have to hunt some screws for that. Also, the bolts that hold the grill frame to the fenders, I've only got two. We're gonna have to go scrounge us up some more. We also need the bolts that hold the grill support to the core support, and we need the bolts that hold the valance support to the grill support. So let's take our trusty impact gun, go back here to the junk pile, and see what we can't harvest to rectify all this missing hardware situation. Obviously, sticking the grill in is pretty much just for gratification purposes. This is not permanent by any means. It's really more so just to keep the feet moving, get something productive done to this car while we're waiting on money and parts and everything else. So we're gonna fit the grill in, make sure we have all the hardware we need, see how it fits, see how it sits, and see what we can do about fixing the bent up plastic. And there's certainly some pieces that are gonna have to be like JB welded or plastic cemented or whatever. There's a crack right there, big busted piece of plastic right there. So right now we're just worried about fitment and hardware, and then when that's done, we'll probably just leave it in there for a while and get the bumper on, and maybe fab up our push bar and all that stuff. And then when the time comes to paint the thing and we take it all back apart anyway, that's when we'll, you know, JB weld our broken plastic bits, come up with the rest of our grill trim, and get our headlight doors working, and, you know, like fix the rust holes underneath the bottom of the hood and all that stuff. So let's go hunt us some hardware. And of course the trim I was going to try to save is for the driver's side, which I already have and is in good shape. There's the passenger side I'm missing. Heck, it might still work. I don't know. Alright, let's see what this hardware do. Alright, well that checks out. Got our valance to grill support bolts. Now what about our grill support to core support? A couple of radiator bolts. Works out for us. Work smarter, not harder, huh? Oh yeah. Alright, Cool, so them bolts worked out for us too for the grill support, the radiator support. Now we just gotta sure the rest of our hardware checks out, which it looks like it do. Alright. We just gotta worry about. Alright, grill support, core support, front valence to grill support fenders. Now we just gotta see about the grill to grill support bolts. We should be straight. Alright, I'm gonna go check on that. I'll be right back. Alright, it's a cold Saturday morning. Out here working on the General again. Got my front bumper and my brackets and whatnot dug out here that I'm gonna use to put it together. This thing, the chrome's coming off, and like whoever took it off the last car it was on, they just took a grinder and gacked them carriage bolts off. So I don't know if we're gonna do anything about that or not. We'll eventually someday at some point probably get a nicer bumper for it, but who knows, we might clean it up a little bit and hit it with some silver spray paint or chrome spray paint or something, make it look at least halfway okay. But I've got my brackets out here, some bumperettes, and some hardware laying around, so we're gonna go back up here to the parts pile and see if we can't harvest some more hardware. And I think I have another bumperette up there that might look better than these two. I got like 3 sets of bumperettes. I have a really nice set that was re-chromed over in that box, but I'm probably gonna save on that for the 68. It's a little too nice for this car. So let's go see what we can come up with. Alright, so we've harvested another bumperette. It may clean up and be fairly nice, I don't know. I found some other stuff we needed. That's the bolt that goes bottom of the bumperette. And I was wondering how these mounted up. And apparently there's a cross brace here that goes between the bumper brackets that your bumperettes bolt to. I did not know this. Makes sense. I don't know how bent it is or isn't. Looks like it might be a bit tweaked, but I bet you we can make it work. That bracket over there is toast, I know that much. That thing's been all snot. But there's a good carriage bolt right here we can probably harvest and use. Learned something else. I was wondering why the ends of the grill on our 69 down there, it was not like fitting up into that corner of the fender as tight as it should. Like, you can see how it tucks up in that corner nice. The one in our 69 down there, it ain't tucked that nice. And I was wondering why. Like, you can lift up on the ends of it and there's play there. Well, as it turns out, I don't know if you can see that, there's a bracket right there that bolts the bottom of the grill frame to the inside of the fender on the bottom, on both sides. That's a good little tidbit of information to know. Glad I noticed that. If I ain't mistaken, we had a similar type little bracket on the inside of the fenders, this coronet, which I think I stuck them back on the fenders, that coronet, and they're laying over there somewhere. We're gonna try to get these off, at least the bolts. I think this bracket over here might be screwed, but that one over there is probably savable in the bolts. We'll try to get those off and see how all those lay in our good grill on the 69. Just goes to show you, I know more than the average bear on this old Chrysler stuff, but I'm always learning something. So, I did not know that. I said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. If you are fixing up an old car, I don't care what it is, and you don't want to spend $1 jillion buying all brand new stuff, just going on AMD or Classic Industries or whatever and just click, 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 order thousands of dollars. Holding on to junk like this is imperative, because although it looks like garbage, it keeps on giving in the little nickel and dime stuff that will just drive you crazy. Things that are seemingly insignificant, like these bolts or this bracket. I mean, sure, this bracket, the bolts, you just go to the hardware store, or the bracket, you could just make something. But it's a whole lot easier this way. Alright, put the ratchet on that. I mean, I ain't just made out of money, obviously, or else I wouldn't be doing all this. I mean, there's a mentality going around in this hobby nowadays that, like, they're all cool and they're all worth saving, and there ain't no such thing as parts cars anymore. That's all subjective. I get it in a way, especially if you can't, you can't afford a Charger or a Roadrunner or something, like a Satellite or a Coronet or a wagon, especially a 4-door, might be what you can get your hands on. But at the same time, if you look around, there's still plenty of viable parts cars around, like this Coronet behind me. Y'all have seen everything I've taken off this car, and it keeps on giving in parts. I gave $400 for that thing. The wagon, right over top of your head, was complete when I got it. I think I gave like $500 for that thing. A lot of people was mad about me taking that wagon apart, but like, if you watch some of my earlier shorts, you seen how rusty it was. And AMD, nor any other sheet metal manufacturer, makes quarter panels or tailgates or doors or whatever for them wagons. If you're gonna fix up a wagon, you about have to have a parts car to do it. And I'm just not into 4-doors. I'm just not. To me, 4-doors have always been parts cars. It's easy for me to say, being surrounded by desirable 2-door B-bodies. Like, if you've got a Roadrunner, or a Super B, a Coronet, Charger, whatever, and it needs XYZ metal or hardware, or interior, or drivetrain, whatever, and you find an old 4-door that's like rusting into the ground, but it's still got plenty of good parts, don't feel bad about tearing that thing apart to fix your car. I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't feel bad about it at all. I mean, I might be a little bit of a snob, because, like, to me, even C-bodies are big block donors, right? They're not hot rods. They're derby cars and big block donors. Bracket success. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's like trying to sell what little bit left of wagon parts are on this wagon. And like when I initially posted it before I tore it apart, people were irate that I wasn't trying to fix this thing. Like, they were legitimately mad that I was gonna dismantle it to fix a '69 Charger. Like, there was dudes that legit said, oh, the wagon's cooler than the Charger. You see Chargers all the time, blah, blah, blah. What planet do you live on where a family wagon is cooler than that? Like, come on, dude. Get real. Anyway, Got our brackets, got our bolts, and we got what bumper bracket stuff we was gonna get off this. So let's go see what we can come up with. All right, back out here today, trying to get this other grill bracket on the passenger side. See, we got it on the driver's side, and see how much nicer it's tucked up into the corner of the fender there. That's how it should be. This side, even though the plastic's all cattywampus, we at least get that bracket in there and get it more upper towards where it should be. Have a better idea of how we should form that plastic back. So let's get that straight. So there's bolts still in the bottom of the grill here from this grill's original bracket, but the bracket's like broken in half. See, there's what's left of that bracket that was on this grill. I don't know, kind of looks like they may have cut it with a grinder or a sawzall or something. Here's one we're gonna put back in its place. And those original bolt holes are like, one of them the threaded insert's gone, and the other one the bolt's like broke off in it. So we're probably just gonna stick some self tappers in there. This is all kinds of wonky here. Like it needs to like that. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to like stick some self tappers in there. Alright, so I got some purple power here. We're going to degrease. You can still see some of the factory Chrysler Pentastar on there. That's pretty cool. Alright, so we'll let that dry. We'll hit it with some compressed air again, and that'll be ready to paint. Next, I guess we'll work on our bumper here, on getting them grinding marks welded up, ground smooth. Alright. The safety glasses. I'm trying to get the surface rust off of where they got into this thing with the grinder. Yes, I realize a brand new bumper ain't but like, I don't know, 250 bucks from AMD or something like that. But unless you ain't noticed, that ain't how we roll around here. I think I gave like 40 bucks for this bumper or something, 50 bucks, something like that. Alright, there we go. Now all that's left is grind it down smooth, sand this whole bumper down, try and paint it, I reckon. If you're really wanting to make this thing nice and you want a nice shiny chrome bumper, it's a whole lot cheaper nowadays just to buy a whole new bumper than it is to get one re-chromed. Nobody really re-chromes anymore. Put a new sanding wheel on this thing. We're running out of tread here. Alright. And there you go. Now you can't even tell there was ever any grinding marks there now. So we're going to do that to the couple other spots we had to weld up. Then we'll bring you back in. Alright, so I showed you earlier, we got all that stuff welded up, ground down smooth. Can't ever even tell there was grinding marks on it. We got the heater going, get the room heated up, get the parts heated up, frankly, trying to promote good adhesion of the paint. Here's our cross member piece that bumperettes bolt to here and here. On the ends, it connects the bumper brackets. So we're about to hit that with some black spray paint rust inhibitor stuff. Right now the bumper's heating up, and we'll hit that with some spray paint. And hopefully it looks pretty eye. You know, see what we can come up with here. Shake for 1 minute. I really need to clean up in here. We got parts laying around everywhere that we've been accumulating for different projects, and it's just making it a pain to get around in here, so I really need to police up in here, parts, tools, and everything. I really need a Connex box to keep all these parts in, shelves and whatnot. That'd be nice. Might need to heat the can up a little bit. Well, the bumper didn't take long. It's about too hot to hold. I have to actually let it cool off a little bit. Alright, so we'll give it about a minute or two and then we'll lay another coat. Alright. Put another coat on there. Of this Rust-Oleum 2-in-1 Rust Reform rubberized black coat. I really don't like this stuff that much. I do like the Rust-Oleum Rust Reform Pro, I think they call it. It's like in a little bit taller can, and it's not rubberized. It's a little bit better quality finish, and I think it's tougher. This rubberized stuff, if you don't use it right, it likes to flake off real bad. So if you're going to use it, give it its best chance to do its job and apply the coats correctly. You know, probably at least 2 or 3 light coats and then one like fairly hefty coat. Probably put on a third here in a couple minutes. As for the silver, for the bumper, I think it's about ready. It's warmed up. We kept it shook up. So what we're using here is just some leftover stuff I had on the shelf, and what it is it's actually a Chrysler paint. It's a touch-up paint. The paint code is PS2, and I think it's most commonly seen on like 3rd gen Dodge Ram pickups and like your early mid-2000s Chrysler vehicles, Chargers, 300s, Town and Countries, that sort of thing. It wasn't no particular preference of mine to use this color, that's just what we had on the shelf. So it actually don't look too awful bad. And the heater cut off. It says to allow 10 minutes between coats, so we'll give it about 10 minutes here, and while we're waiting we'll try to get the heater back up and going and put another coat on our cross member here and see if I can't dig up some clear coat. But that don't look too awful bad, actually. I think that might just work out for us, because we ain't looking for perfect, we're just looking for better than it was, and that's certainly better than it was, so Mike can live with that. Back at it again tonight. Same procedure again. Got the heater going, warming up the bumper so we can clear coat it. And I actually went to O'Reilly's and got the same Duplicolor Perfect Match brand as the silver paint we used, clear coat. So that's what we'll use to clear it, probably 2 or 3 coats. And hopefully it comes out pretty decent. It says to do 2 or 3 coats, like 10 minutes in between, and then when you're done, like use a light polishing compound and shine it up. So we'll see how that turns out. We're getting the bumper warmed up right now, so we can get some sort of adhesion, and then once it's warmed up, we'll set it back over on the jack stands, wipe it down with a tacky cloth, and get after it. I also went to the hardware store, got some hardware we was missing. We needed a couple more bumper bracket bolts for the bumper bracket to frame rail mounting. Got a couple of those, and also got a couple bolts. You can see that one there and one over there where that cross member bit bolts to the bumper brackets for the doggone bumperettes to bolt to underneath the valence. So hopefully tonight we'll get this bumper in clear, and maybe we might get back to it tonight if it's set up enough. We may have to wait till tomorrow, and we'll put this whole shebang together, brackets, bumper, everything, and try to get it on the car. Alrighty, it's tomorrow, and the clear coat is dry. Looks pretty alright. I'm happy with that. We'll see how it looks in the daylight. Let's take it out here, put it on our workbench, get the brackets attached, and try to get the whole shebang on the car. So let's do that. Alright, camera died yesterday evening, but this is what we ended up with. We got the bumper on, mounted solid, and I didn't realize till we got it on, you can tell the bumper is actually bent. Like, it's bent up on the passenger side. You can see that. It's uneven. I played with the brackets, all the adjustment I could, and bumper's bent. But it's better than what we had, and what we had was nothing. So, is what it is. We'll just leave it, and we'll use it. You can always change out later. You know, come across a better bumper later on that's straight, and we'll change it out. But for now, is what it is. The car looks a whole lot better. I mean, a whole lot better. It has really come a long ways from where we started. As you can tell, still don't have the turn signals in it. I have them, I believe, at least one of them, if not both of them. But there's not really much point in putting them in, you know, until the car's painted, because we'll just have to take them back out. Also, the front license plate bracket, I have it, but I have not put it in. But I do have it. So now, I guess all that's left to do is let's make our push bar. Let's make our push bar. So we have some scrap, like 2-inch swing set tubing, and I got a piece of plate steel here. I have a template. It's folded up right here in the box. A guy on Facebook by the name of Robert Ray was good enough to, he had a kit that was not yet put together of a push bar, and he was good enough to lay the side bar pieces out on a piece of cardboard and make me a template. So Robert, if you're watching this, thank you so much. Also, Mike Finney on Facebook helped me out with a lot of insight on dimensions and making one of these. So both of y'all, if y'all see this, thank y'all so much. Yeah, that was a big help. So what we're going to do here is we're going to cut out the template here on the inside of the marker line, and then we'll lay it over on our piece of plate steel and cut out our side bars. and see how they fit up to the car. And cut our pipe. We'll get them fit to the car, take some measurements, see how things sit, cut our pieces of pipe, hopefully get it all welded up. So let's get after that. Alright, so we have our template traced out on a piece of steel. I don't have a torch, so we're gonna have to cut it out with the angle grinder, but it is what it is. We'll go ahead and cut this thing out and see how it fits up on the car, and then I suppose we will cut out our other side. Alright, try not to make a mess of this if I can help it. Success. Alright, let's see how it fits up on the car. Looks good. Alright, so let's just wash, rinse, repeat. Cut out with another one and go from there. Alright, so we got our side bars cut out. So now let's take them to the bench grinder and try to get the worst of the rust off, get the sharp edges cleaned up and smoothed over. Alright, so our side bars are done, deburred, surface rust off, ready to go. And they look pretty good. So now, excuse me. Now all we gotta do, take a tape measure, and we gotta measure outside to outside of the front frame rails, because that's how they're gonna sit. And we're gonna, so we know how long to cut our tubing. And once we know that, we cut our tube, clean it up, and weld the whole shebang together. Alright, I figure about 36 inches. which matches up with what I was told. We'll go cut us a couple pieces of that swing set tubing over there, 36 inches long. See if we can't get this thing on there. Alright, so this is what we got. This missile swing set tube. And I believe, hopefully this one piece is long enough. Checker. Yeah, it's about 2. We really need 2.5, but yeah, it's close enough. Yeah, we'll just use 2. All right, so let's cut our tubing here. All right, saw's all here. Go ahead and cut this boy. Alright, there's one. Alright, so we got it all tacked up. We're about to fit it to the car and hopefully clamp it on there with these welding clamps and see how she sits. And if I'm happy with it, we'll weld it solid all the way around and paint and prime it. Drill our mounting holes in it and put it on there permanent like. That looks more right to me. Something like that. Looks pretty good. It's my birthday. I gotta go eat with some family. So we'll come back to this later. Oh, that's nice. Broke my drill bit. Gotta go find another one. Or, yeah, we'll go find something. Starting to get a little hail out here. That bit might be about wore out. I ain't playing around. Let's put the step bit in it. Need another battery. It's kind of loud to be doing this out here at almost 11 o'clock at night. That's plumb through there. Make sure our lines still match up. Yep. Like that. One more. Plumb through there. Alright, got our holes drilled. Know where we're going to locate the thing on the frame of the car. I've got marked in Sharpie where I'm going to add the extra bracing side to side and in the front. So now all that's left to do is just solid weld up here the whole thing, and then probably come tomorrow we'll find us. We'll probably get done tonight, finish welding the front here, and that's all we're gonna do. It's getting late, but tomorrow we'll come up with our extra bracing and test fit it again, make sure everything's good, and try to come up with some hardware to bolt the thing on, maybe even paint it. So. Alright, so that's it. She's welded solid. And some of it don't look half bad. Alright, I'm gonna call it for tonight. Tomorrow we'll come back out here and finish up bracing it and maybe try to get it painted. We'll see ya. Alright, so we've cut us a piece of angle iron to length, about 36 inches. A little curve, but it'll be alright. To fit between the side rails of the push bar, hopefully stiffen it up a little bit. Alright, so we got our piece of angle iron cleaned up and set about where we're gonna want it. So let's get it burned in.
Oh, ain't them too flimsy for that?
It ain't like I'm actually gonna hit anything with it.
You hope not. I don't know if it's strong enough to hold it up or not.
Might need a little bit more wire speed, maybe a little less wire speed. Alright, let's see if that's... that's a little better. Oh well. A little better than it was, still floppy. kind of floppy. Oh well, when we get it on the car and work on our other little tab piece that's going to bolt to the bumper, maybe we'll try to figure out some other stuff to make it a little stronger. But all in all, you know, if you're actually expecting your push bar to protect the front of the car, you got bigger problems if you're actually hitting something with it. So I think it'll be okay. My biggest concern is like showing the car and working on it and stuff, leaning on it, pushing on it, and sitting on it, all that sort of thing. But yeah, I think it'll be alright. Alright, so here we are, a day or two later, something like that. And got the brace in on the push bar. It's a little less wobbly. Went to the hardware store. It's real handy having your local small town hardware store less than a mile up the road. Got us some 1/2 inch by 3.5 inch bolts. Bolt the thing to the frame. But you can probably tell, it's right under that lip. I don't know if you can tell. Hole right there on both sides. The top one is like right up under that lip. So we can't get the bolt in, so we're gonna have to take the grinder and hammer and kind of massage that on both sides, make it work. So let's butcher that up and see if we can't make something happen. Yeah. Perfect. Same over here. I need to cut just a hair more off of there. Don't need that. Perfect. Alright, let's see how the push bar fits up. Bolts are freaking expensive these days. All I did was got 4 of these 1/2 inch, 3.5 inch long galvanized bolts, 4 nuts, 8 washers, 4 lock washers, and this little 3/8 grade A bolt, and it's flanged with a flange lock nut, and it's like $17 and some change. That's ridiculous. Maybe if more of y'all watching this and not subscribing would subscribe, I could afford hardware, or someday afford to get a deal with one of them hardware companies to put me up a rack and keep it stocked. Wouldn't that be nice? That'd be real nice. Don't cost nothing to subscribe, people. Nothing, and it helps out a lot. So does comments and likes and shares and all that stuff. Helps a lot. If you want to see more of these cool old cars, which I have a gracious plenty and I plan on getting more, do that. Help me out. Okay. That's pretty good. It's right about where I want it to be. Okay. That looks good. Now let's grab a wrench and the impact gun, locking bolts down, and see where to put our other little tab. Tight. And still kind of floppy, but our little piece made for that, and we'll be square. So now we just need to go find a 3/8 drill bit and tape measure and a piece of flat bar. Ow! Hot! Alright. Bolt goes through there. Indeed it does. Alright. Let's go find this. Alright, got our flat bar. Tape measure 2.5 inches. Let's cut about 3/4 inch off of it. And then about 1.1 inches from the end of it, we'll drill our hole. So let's go fabricate this thing. I'll be right back. Alright, we've got our piece of flat bar here with our 3/8 hole. Oh yeah. Perfect fit. Perfect fit. Now we can, oh, and that's solid because it's wedged in there so tight. So now let's drag the welder out here and tack it in place. Take the whole shebang back apart, weld it. See if we can get the heater to work half right and paint this thing. Oh yeah, it's solid. Made a lot of difference. Plus I get the settings right when I'm done. Whew. And that's that. Fabrication is done. So let's clean everything up with the grinder and then see if we can't paint it. Alright, so we got all the welds cleaned up. We got a couple places where I had to cut tacks and move stuff around, all that ground off and cleaned up. So now we're going to take some power paper towels and we're going to do just like everything else we've spray painted. We're going to degrease it, try to get the heater going to help adhesion, and blast this thing black in some, I think it's, what we got here? Rust-Oleum roll bar and chassis paint. Self-priming durable finish. Protects roll bars, frame, and suspension. And the picture is a Jeep with a push bar on it, so I figured, hey, that's pretty fitting. So we'll use that. That's pretty well clean. As clean as I'm willing to try to make it. Oh yeah. Alright, so it's painted. Seen me paint that. Less than ideal conditions, but it feels, it's not, you know, it's not on my hand, not sticky. So, and it's black. That's what we want. So, jam it on there and be done with this. Almost cuss it right there. The bungee cord trick here. Scratch. Oh. Ever get one of them ear spasms where it sounds like there's like a little helicopter in your ear, like the muscle just.
No.
Before we snug those up, we'll 3/8 bolt through the front bumper here to our little bracket we made yesterday. With our $2 bolt, cinches them down, and some big ones. On there. Oh yeah. Look at that. That is sick. Oh, that really does it for me. Like the car's made a big transformation since September. It's now like early December since we've done all this. And it's been exciting so far, but like up till now it's just been like regular 69 Charger. This is the first specifically General Lee part I've put on it, and it's kind of exciting. Really like that. And I was worried about it being all floppy, but adding that little bit of support right there. I mean, ideally we're not going to be ramming anything with it, but I was more concerned about, you know, leaning on it, working on it, and going to shows and people sitting on it and stuff, you know, like obviously all the car calendar model babes are going to be sitting on this thing. Don't want it to break, you know. Sick. Alright, that's it. That's it for this one. I'm done with it for now. Next we'll probably be doing a front suspension on it and getting her down on the ground, getting it on the vector wheels, and that'll be the next time you see it. But next thing we actually work on that you'll see is, we'll probably just freaking satisfy Luke and finish the blue truck, because that's all he wants me to ever do is truck stuff. And if you'll notice, the truck videos I do are the worst performing videos. So
not Whoopi.
that was a 1,700 view short. The General Lee, one of the General Lee shorts did like 8,400 views. So yeah, pissed right off. But Alright, that's it. We'll see y'all later. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. Because, you know, I see, like, the analytics show me everything. There's like a bajillion of y'all watching and only like a very little percentage subscribing. I have a ton more cool cars other than just this and the 71 and the truck. And if you want to see any of that, I need people to subscribe, man, because the parts don't pay for themselves, and the guy, you know, works kind of spotty. So do that for me, please. I'd really appreciate it. We'll see you later.